Okay, so I'm going to review chapters 8 and 9 of X-Men Second Coming, which includes chapter 8 being X-Men Legacy 236 and X-Force 27 for chapter 9. I'm also going to touch upon the Blind Science one-shot and X-Factor 204 and 205, which I was finally able to get my hands on, and I'll start out with the main story right now. Alright, so chapter 8 picks up after 7 left off, where Cable was sitting there just in shock that Hope lied to him and said that she was actually ready to come back when she wasn't. Considering all the death and the casualties on both sides that started to weigh upon this child, it's quite understandable. And we even get to see there are a lot more things happening right now with Cyclops, especially because, I mean, he's feeling like the shit brick on his shoulders, or like he's kind of carrying his own cross as the leader. Everybody is gradually starting to turn against him. And while I've enjoyed watching his character have to take on the harder parts of leadership, at the same time there are even moments when I have to question him as a reader as to what he's doing here. And one thing that I'm going to cover here in a minute very, very poignantly touches upon that. Bastion, after having Donald Pierce do sort of a suicide attack on Utopia, has now had a large, it's kind of an electrical field that's shown up on the Golden Gate Bridge and is gradually expanded upon. And he's sent many of the X-Men down there to see what this is about. And it winds up being a portal to which a bunch of Nimrod robots come running out, and they're totaling actually about to 170,000, which, without being blunt, is kind of some overwhelming odds for these guys. And Cyclops reaches a point here in chapter 9 to where he actually has to go and is forced to send X-Force off into the future, and we see a little more shit hit the fan when Storm finds out about this. Because she's sitting there in the meeting with him and says, Cyclops, after this is all over with, you and I are going to have a talk. Compounding this is the fact that Cable is also offered Hope to the chance to leave this place, because he has that time jump left in his device, to which would take him away from that. And she said after all the stuff that's happened, she isn't really ready to go just yet. You know, it's kind of like saying that all the deaths that have happened would be in vain, and I really like that part of her character that shows. Ultimately, however, Cyclops does know about this one jump that he has left in Cable's device, and actually has Cable go with X-Force in order to jump off into the future and take on these Nimrods that are coming up out of there. And he kind of confides to Emma at the end of X-Force that this is actually a suicide mission, and there is no goodbyes in between him and Cable, but he just, you see a tear come from his eye, and you actually see him lament that he just killed his son. And I just thought that was really a powerful moment right there. Now, this has been extremely good right here. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention that in the story too is that there's a large sphere. It's also of a different material that has formed itself around Utopia and the Atlantean column, which is holding up the island right now. And what's cool about this is you actually have the Avengers show up, and Thor goes and swings his hammer at this thing and can't break it open. So he's going to take a little bit to try and get into that. Basically, Bastion has just closed off all the mutants on there. Now, while all this is going on in San Francisco over in X-Factors 204 and 205, we've had Guido go to South America with Monet to help rescue her father and battle Baron Mordo, who's dying. And he's actually trying to draw out Monet's power. That's an interesting side story. And also Bolivar Trask, who's actually trying to fight Bastion's control over him a little bit, but not really succeeding, has hired X-Factor for a bum case in which he's going to go and wipe them out due to Bastion's orders. And as far as the tie-in is not really affecting Second Coming in any way. It's just dealing with that in their own corner of the world. That's an extremely good read that I'd highly recommend. There is also The Blind Science, which actually examines Kavito Rao, Nemesis, and Dr. Jeffries after their little stint on the oil rig, which was set to blow up. They're actually saved by a future version of Beast who has been depowered thanks to a cure that Kavito Rao had made back in the Gifted Story arc that Matt Fraction wrote, and used it on himself. And in this possible future, Hope has actually become a giant parasite which has been feeding off of mutants, but it's just thrown the world into a huge catastrophe. And what the secret is behind that is really interesting. You actually get to see these three doctors who have very little screen time on them actually have their own adventure and prove useful. And seeing Kavita Rao outsmart Nemesis smartass at the end of this is really a plus. So these are 5 good titles right now that I really recommend you go pick up along with the rest of Second Coming. It's been a great event, and we'll continue it next time. Probably be in the next week or two, which I'll touch upon Chapter 11. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and go and pick this up while you still got a chance, because it's really, really good.